Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for mid-March 2023. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our toes in the energy and see what's going on for the lovely Taurus collective. I hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's shuffle it up and see what we have for you this week. Talk to me, my gods. And yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card, then we'll get into the full tarot reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean in on, which is always interesting. But here we go. Let's get it rocking here. What's going on with my Taurus people? Please, my gods. Nice and quick. So this could be somebody like really trying to blend in or avoid issues, avoid problems. This is a very aesthetic type of energy as well. There's multiple cards in this deck that give me this same feeling. Now, yes, this is beautiful imagery. There's a lot of layers here, though. Before we start peeling it back, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the March subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. Also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, into the reading. Have a look at this card a bit closer, my friends. So you see this beautiful woman. She is dressed up like the birds that are around her. I don't know the specific species of birds that look like some sort of stork, but when I see her, I do think of somebody trying to blend in, not stick out, not cause any waves, don't cause any ruckus. So this could either be a mode you're in, you might just be doing what you do, trying to stay in your lane, not cause any waves, or this could be somebody that doesn't want issues with you, right? Like they want to level things out or calm things down. But another thing I always see with this card, since it is so beautiful, there could be something about the self or your aesthetics that are important for whatever reason, whether it's getting new clothes, changing the way you look. There is something revolving around how someone is looked or perceived, okay? So that might be on your mind, right? Like maybe it could even be health things. You might be starting new health regimens or changing your look up. A lot of things there. Let's get into tarot. I'm not going to talk about that anymore. Let's get you 3 cards in the upright before we get the intuitive juiciness flowing. Let's get a good shuffle here for Taurus, please. And I always say with that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote for us, right? Let's see what we got. So, last week's reading was titled An Explosive Talk, right? And I do try to keep these titles as simple and straightforward as possible, but last week's did seem very fiery, more fiery than usual, right? So whether it's exchanging ideas in a positive, fiery type of way, could have been a talk that got a bit out of hand, right? A little aggressive. But we're going to see what we have for you this week, Taurus, right? Because you know energy is always fluid. It's never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you. Because we could be seeing your energy. We could be seeing somebody you're linked to. Let's get you 3. What do we got for Taurus, please? See if communication is still sticking around. Hey, we got the Knight of Pentacles, very common card. That's a card that could represent you. So the self, just like we were seeing with the Oracle card, there could be something around one's self-confidence or how they present themselves or feel about themselves. Let's not get too carried away just yet, though. 2 more, please. Thank you. Strength card, very good. Yeah, strength. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of you could be like trying to get some self-improvement going, some self-improvement regimen. Obviously, that's not all of the message, but when we get a card that could represent you and strength, I'm getting a lot of working out for some reason. Let's get one more, or that could at least be on the mind. I don't want to get too intuitive just yet. Let's get this last card. Justice. So we do have karmic energy showing up as well. Interesting mixture we got going on here, Taurus. Right, there's a lot of powerful archetypes showing up in this week's spread. So let's just put Lady Justice down right there. Let's go through, I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes before we get into the juicy intuitive stuff. So looking down here at first glance, we have, once again, a card that could represent you. We have 2 major arcana. These are very powerful archetypes, okay? Big themes, possible life-changing events and situations. But position number 1, the Knight of Pentacles. There's a lot of power here. Now, this could be another earth sign as well, but when we see this, it's a very slow and steady mover. There might be something you're taking your time with. There might be something you're not trying to rush. There could be something you're reading the fine details about when we see this Knight of Pentacles. It could also be a messenger, so we do have some of those little themes of communication, talking, showing up once again. But this is an energy that won't be rushed, right? There could be something that's just taking its sweet old time. So some of you might be waiting on something, right? Literally. It could be something that's like stalled out sometimes as well. But moving to the center, we have the Strength card. A portion of you might be connected to someone who falls under the sign of Leo, Leo the Lion. If not, when I see the Strength card, I think of inner strength. I know I was speaking about working out and muscles and all that good stuff, but strength is more about that inner strength, the strength of character, endurance. And when I see it next to the card of self, like there is like big self-improvement energy showing up here this week. You might be tested from spirit when we have this type of energy as well. Like spirit could be testing your resolve, testing your staying power. This card can also represent fighting one's own demons with love as opposed to brute force. So this is a very loving, caring type of card as well. So we want to dive deeper on all of it. Okay, I often see the Strength card when somebody's going through tough situations, all right, or things that are very trying. But I do know this, when it comes to Tauruses, out of all the signs, they're one of the signs that have the strongest staying power. When you set your mind to something, you get it done. When you commit yourself to something, you're in there fully and nothing's going to throw you off your path. That's kind of a vibe I'm picking up here. Now, moving to the very back end, we have Lady Justice, a very intriguing card. Watch out for legal things in this time. This could represent taxes, tickets, court, whatever. Not only that, this card could represent decisions and choices. A lot of you could be in that mode. You might feel like in life right now, you're at a crossroads. When I see Lady Justice, though, the biggest thing, if this isn't a Libra in your life, because it could be, it does represent the karmic scales of the universe, right? The cycles of life, the beginnings, the endings, the lessons that we have to learn. So there could be karmic situations you're dealing with, right? Whether it's learning those lessons, it could be karmic rewards, it could be somebody getting karmic justice or getting a dose of that. So we really want to see what's going on because there's a lot of power here in this week's spread, Taurus. Very interesting stuff we got going on. Let's place Lady Justice down right there. I want to dive deeper on all of it. Let's jump in and clarify. All right, let's get a good shuffle here for Taurus, please. My guides, talk to me. What do we got this week? What do we got for Taurus? Yes, my friends, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot. Because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's see what's up with that Knight of Pentacles, though. Let's see if something's coming towards you or way you might be feeling. And yes, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Taurus, you could drop it down in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, Knight of Pentacles. What's this Knight of Pentacles here, please? Okay, the deck is being very specific. I'm interested. What do we got? Yeah, Star in reverse. Yeah, and I'm still feeling it like the test. There's a lot of energy of test, like test from spirit. Something might be testing your patience, testing your resolve. We have the Star in reverse underneath this Knight of Pentacles. Something could be moving so slow that you've kind of lost faith that it's ever going to progress. That could be for a portion of you. When I get the Star in reverse, if you're not having issues with an Aquarius, because that could absolutely be it, it could be a bit of a depressed or hopeless type of feeling as well. So some of you might be giving up hope on something or giving something up completely. Like, yeah, that just doesn't have a path to the future, okay? And that's the best way I could see it. And once again, I want to get to Strength card before we talk about trying situations, stressful situations or issues, because I'm getting this test. Like all of these cards together do feel like Spirit could be testing you about something. Okay, testing your resolve in some sort of way. Let's see what's up with Strength. But you could be tempted to give up on something or give something up. Let's see why Strength is here. Very interesting indeed. So why is Strength here? Once again, that could be somebody else, how they're feeling too. Fool in reverse. Okay, yeah, this could be someone that might feel like they just need to catch their breath about something. We have the Fool in reverse, lots of fire energy right in the center of this spread, lots of burn. And when I get the Fool in reverse, like, once again, massive tests, right? Big tests of different, like, test of endurance, test of patience. When I see the Fool in reverse, this could sometimes be a very spontaneous type of energy. So under a card like Strength, you might be trying to like really refrain from something, or you might be tempted to fall back into some sort of past habit. Big here when we see the Fool in reverse. But how fast something is progressing can also be a big test. Like if something's not gaining by leaps and bounds, or if something's not going according to plan, how you react to that is huge. Like that's another thing I'm seeing here, because once again, this whole first portion, there's a lot of testing happening, okay, for whatever reason. Watch out for spontaneity as well. A lot of you might be tempted to do something that's a little outside of your normal way of being. So we're going to go in on Justice, because I'll talk about this more once again, but let's see what's going on there. Because there could be tests of patience and nerve as well. Like that's just a big thing I'm feeling here. So there might be stressful situations happening, various ones in different portions. Let's see what's up with Justice though. Then we'll do our recap before we get into the shadow cards. So Wise Lady Justice here. Thank you. Eight of Pentacles. Okay. All right, so some of you might just decide to continue working on something after all, because what we have on the ends of this are completely opposite types of energies, or this might be how two different people are feeling. But under Justice, when I see the Eight of Pentacles, it could be one of two things. One, it could be karmic rewards, where if you've been a diligent person, you've been working hard, you've been doing the right things, treating people right, Spirit might bestow some sort of blessing on you or a reward for your hard work. That is very good, and that could be something that you claim. But some of you, remember I was talking about like possibly giving up or doing spontaneous. When I see the Eight of Pentacles under Justice, it's like, no, I've made the decision. I've committed to this. I'm going to continue this, or I need to continue this. Like if I give this up, things are going to go off the rails. So this could also be Spirit urging you to continue working on something or towards something when we have this. Another portion of you could be making decisions about your work future as well, like what your work future is going to be. Are you going to go into business for yourself? Are you going to stay at your current job? Are you going to switch it up? There's things revolving around that. So a lot of interesting stuff this week, Taurus. Let's go through and do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow card. If you kindly look in the box, position number 1, we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Star in reverse. Like I said, this could be a bit of a gloomy, like giving up type of energy. That giving up on things isn't always bad, but there could be something where you don't quite see the future in it, or like you don't know how it's going to turn out. It just doesn't seem like something's going to come to fruition. In its worst case scenario, it could be someone like feeling depressed or hopeless. But a big thing I was feeling here in the front end is like test of your patience, test of your resolve. Okay, different ways. Moving further, we have the Strength card with the Fool in reverse. This to me is once again a spontaneous, fiery type of energy where you might do something that's a little out of norm. When I see this type of energy, it is like, all right, like somebody just doing something that is completely unexpected type of behavior, okay? And it just feels a little erratic, and it does feel like a test. If there's something you've given up, you might be tempted to fall back into that. Moving to the back end, we have Lady Justice with the Eight of Pentacles. You might continue to, like, you might decide to continue working towards something or at something. Lots of staying power. If you've made a commitment, you're going to keep strong to it, or you need to. Another vibe I'm picking up here is if you've been a very beautiful individual, a good person, you've been putting good things out there, Spirit might reward you. You might have a karmic blessing or a karmic reward coming for all the things that you've done, which is nice, okay? Or this could be a payoff at the end of the day. Overall interesting, with 4 of the 6 card being major arcana. You could be going through an interesting portion of life. Let's get into the shadow card though. Please take a screenshot if you'd like. And also, I did say some of you might be making a decision about work and what you do for a job. Okay, what your future might be. So let's see what's in the shadows. What is in the shadows for Taurus? Totally interesting and different from the last couple of weeks. And you have different vibes happening than the other earth signs too, I'll tell you that. But let's get you one shadow card. What's in the shadows for Taurus? What is in the shadows, my gods? Okay, 2 of Wands, planning, strategy. That's huge in this time. There could have been times in the past where you didn't think something through properly and it came back to bite you. When we have the 2 of Wands back there, you might also need to know that someone around you might be planning a little something when this card shows up in the shadows. But once again, this All twos in tarot represent decisions, choices, being at a crossroads in life. And with all the major arcana and Lady Justice being in this spread this week, I do feel like a lot of people in the Taurus collective are at like a make or break point, or at a fork in the road, where like the next major chapter of your life is only a decision or a couple of decisions away when this shows up. So choose wisely. That's something I'm feeling here with this card, okay? Make sure you're planning things properly, strategizing properly, stay away from the spontaneity. And Taurus, that's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give the details of the March subscriber surprise. If you got your name in for the February subscriber surprise, the winners will be announced in my community tab after this week's fire and air sign readings. But for March, I'll be giving away 2 copies of the beautiful Tarot of the Owls. This is a new deck and it is absolutely awesome. So if you'd like to get your name in for this, 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed, which I'm sure you already are. And second, let me know down in the comments out of this week's reading, which card spoke to you the most. At the end of the month, the winners will be in the community tab once again, my friends. Much love to you, and I'll see you next time.